All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'll be your yoga instructor today. So, welcome into week 33 of this Yoga for Pregnancy series here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. We are into the third trimester. We are coming toward the end of carrying this baby. So, if you're new here, welcome. This whole series has been designed just to help you be within your body and kind of move through pregnancy with mobility, flexibility, and as much ease as possible. Keep in mind, you can kind of mix and match these classes based on your desires and your ability level. If you want to do more or less or want to repeat something, just always make sure that you're contacting your healthcare practitioner just to make sure that all of this is supported in your care plan. I also want to say, as we get into practice today, just a couple things to keep in mind. Notice your boundaries. There's more and more relaxin that is being released into our body right now, and that is to open up our ligaments, get our body prepared to birth a baby. So we want to make sure that we're not overstretching and overextending ourselves. So find your edge and maybe pull back from it and really notice where those boundaries are. You can always modify. You can kind of keep it in that center posture. You don't need to push further than you're ready. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, please, of course, feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and join us whenever you feel ready. I also want to just say welcome to any support members who are here, whether that's a partner, friend, family member, or a tiny family member that's practicing with the expecting mother. It's really lovely to do these things in community and with the support of others. So, thank you so much for being here. So, with all that, excuse me, with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed, they can be straight out in front of you. You're welcome to be up on a prop. I'm sitting on a block on its lowest level, but you can also be down on the mat. We're going to wiggle back and forth to root into our sits bones, and we'll sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. You got it. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale as we drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or simply find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. So we'll start off this practice like we have the rest of them with a breathing practice to help you connect with your baby. So if you'd like, you're welcome to bring a hand onto your belly, a hand onto your chest here. And start by simply noticing that natural rhythm or cadence of your breath. After your next exhale, take a full inhale, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air before slowly exhaling the breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill your belly, lungs, and chest with air before slowly exhaling the breath back out. On the next inhale, imagine drawing in all of the love that you could possibly feel for your baby into your heart and sending it to your baby. And then on the exhale, imagine that baby is sending all of the love that it could possibly feel out to you. Inhale, patience for baby. Exhale, baby's patience for you. Inhale, generosity for baby. Exhale, baby's generosity for you. Inhale, kindness for baby. Exhale, baby's kindness for you. Inhale, calm for baby. Exhale, baby's calm for you. Inhale, fortitude for baby. Exhale, baby's fortitude for you. Inhale, love for baby. Exhale, baby's love for you. Taking a couple more breaths just like this, inhaling in whatever it is you have to or would like to offer to your baby, and then exhaling out that very same offering from baby to you. When you've reached the end of your next breath, releasing your hands down into a comfortable position and taking a moment to notice your breath as it settles into its natural rhythm. And then taking another moment to set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale as you feel that intention with your heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. Gently opening the eyes if they're closed. Go ahead and move your prop if you're sitting on one out to the side. And again, come into that comfortable seat now down on the mat. We're going to inhale, super arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward, and then exhale, twist over to the left, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind your body as you curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale brings you back into center. Exhale, twisting over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body, curving your head around into a seated twist. Inhale draws you back into neutral. Exhale, twisting over to the left again, not straining yourself, but curving that nose around so you bring that twist all the way up into the neck. Good. And then inhale brings you back into neutral. Exhale twists you over to the right again, curving that nose around. Inhale draws you back into center. Exhale, left hand drops down to the mat. Step it about a foot out to the left. And then exhale, lean over to the left as you reach through those right fingers for your seated side bend. So keep your shoulders stacked, heart center open. Press into your bottom hand to keep that nice opening through the ribs and down to the side body and that right hip rooted here. Really reaching here, feeling that lovely pull, especially through the top of the hip into that kind of mid side body, mid back area. Oh, feels so nice. Good. And then inhale returns us to center. We switch sides, right hand down, step it out a foot out to the right, and then exhale, lean over to the right, reaching through the left fingers. So again, reaching through those fingers, shoulders shrug down, feeling a lovely pull through the side body as you press into that bottom hand to keep rooted through the left sits bone here. Nice heart center opening. And as you really reach through the fingers, we feel that lovely pull through the mid side body, mid back. Oh, it feels so good. It's a little zip of energy here. Good. And then inhale brings us back into neutral. Great work. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see me a little bit easier. You can stay right where you are. Hands come down onto the knees. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, press forward with the heart center, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look up toward the sky, gripping the knees, coming into our seated cow. And then exhale, hollow out the back and the belly, look down toward the floor, the pelvis for your seated cat. Inhale and do a seated cow, press the belly forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, look up, feel that pull through the front side of the body, seated cow. Exhale, hollowing out the back and the belly here. Feel that pull through the shoulder blades to the back side of the body for your seated cat. One more round each side. Inhale into your seated cow, using your knees to kind of pull the chest open. Exhale into your seated cat, feeling those shoulder blades separate, pressing against the knees, or really just allowing your arms to hollow out. Good. And then inhale into neutral. Great work. We're going to come into a wide-legged seat here. I'm going to turn to face you once again. So finding a nice wide-legged seat, pregnancy, this is probably one of the most comfortable ways to sit on the floor these days. So legs are out at about a 45-degree angle. You don't want it super wide, but you don't want it close in, right? You want this nice opening here so you've got this nice pie slice to operate within. Rooting into the sits bones here. We inhale as we lengthen through the spine, and then exhale as we hinge at the hips and we fold forward here, walking the hands forward. Now, as you walk yourself forward, you're going to notice the belly drop down. Great. Check in with the toes. Make sure that they continue to face up toward the sky. So you're kind of rotating your feet back toward that outside edge of the foot. You can remain on the hands if it's accessible. You can come down to the forearms or use a prop like a block to support your opening. You're not looking up like I am at you, but instead your chin is tucked. You're looking down toward the floor, kind of straight in front of your face here. So we have a nice long spine and we're protecting our spine and our neck here. Good. We're feeling that dual stretch through the inside of the legs here, getting that nice opening. This is a great pelvic opener, helping us kind of get ready for that opening that we're going to need when it comes time to birth our baby. Shoulders are shrugged down. We're taking a couple deep breaths here. Good. Inhale brings us back into neutral. We walk ourselves on back up into center. Great work. Keep that block nearby. You may need it. We're going to go ahead and bend our left knee and bring our calf so it's basically perpendicular to our body. It's kind of right out in front of us here. And then take the right ankle, the outside of that ankle, and bring that ankle to that fleshy top part of the knee, coming into fire log pose. Woo! So as we come into this posture here, we may notice that our knee and our ankle on this right side are very far away from each other. You can always take a block and prop it in between the knee here to help with that opening. Now, if you're like, Alexis, I'm too far along in my pregnancy, or just in general, this posture is not accessible for me, you can always come into crisscross applesauce. Great option here. Okay. So as you come into your this posture, we're immediately noticing a nice deep opening in that right hip. You're welcome to stay right here. You can just sit up nice and tall, hands in a comfortable position, whether on the legs or out at your sides. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can either remove that block, and as you sit here, your knee will slowly start to drop down as the fascia around the muscles and the joints start to release. Or if you need even more of a stretch, you're welcome to hinge at the hips and focus on pressing the heart center forward. I won't demonstrate that. That's not in my practice today, but it's an option for you using props or the mat or your body for support as you need. And again, especially with this posture, finding your edge and then pulling back slightly so you're not going further than the body really is ready, even if you're feeling more flexible, right? That relaxing is kind of tricking the body and the mind here. So let's take a couple deep breaths. Lovely. When you're ready, leaning back onto your butt, back onto your hands, gently uncrossing those legs. And we're going to come onto the opposite side. So go ahead and fold down that right knee, creating that calf in front of you so it's perpendicular to your body. And then go ahead and take this left leg, especially that fleshy part or that the bony part of the ankle, and put it on the fleshy part of your right knee, coming into fire log pose. Now, if you were to just crisscross applesauce, just switch the cross of your applesauce. Okay. So again, you can use a block underneath that knee between that foot on the left side for some extra support. A pillow, a blanket, those work great as well. So finding your seat here, maybe this is a deep enough stretch. We're really feeling it in that left hip. This is a very deep, deep stretch. You're welcome to stay here. You can always remove that prop. And as the body starts to settle, the muscles move, the fascia moves, you're going to notice a deepening of the posture naturally. If you need an even deeper experience of this posture, you can hinge at the hips and focus on pressing the heart center forward to get an even deeper stretch. Again, not in my practice, so I will not be demonstrating that today, but it's available. And being mindful again, one side may be naturally more open than the other. You may have more flexibility than on the other side, and that's totally fine. If one side is really bound up, you don't have to go as deep. What's important is that you're doing the posture on both sides to welcome in that symmetry and balance. So wherever you are, let's take a couple deep breaths here together. All right. And then inhale, lean back onto the hips, gently uncross those legs. And we're going to plant the soles of the feet on the floor a little bit wider than our hips, lean back onto the hands, and then windshield wipe the knees back and forth for a nice little release here. We just did a lot of work in our hips, low back, outside of the legs. So doing this is good for mobility during pregnancy, but it's also a great way to release the hips after a deep stretch like that. I call it windshield wiper, nothing fancy, but it is really helpful. Good. Coming back into neutral, you can find easy pose, crisscross applesauce. Once again, your legs can also be extended out in front of you if you'd like. Making sure your props are out of the way here. We're going to inhale, bring our arms out wide to a T. We're going to go ahead and bring our arms then to cross. So bring your right arm over your left. Bend the elbows. Now, if this is enough, you can bring the back of the hands to touch. Option is to take this right hand and continue to wrap it around the left hand so palms come to touch. We're coming into eagle arms here. So sitting up nice and tall, we're in eagle arms, feeling that pulling opening through our shoulder blades and upper back. Now we want our elbows about chest height, top of the chest here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, inhale, lift those fingers up toward the sky. Feel that opening through the upper back and through the shoulder blades here. Couple deep breaths. And then press those elbows out and away from the body, like you're pushing straight out in front of you. Great. Inhale, gently untwine the arms, bring them back out to a T, and then moving on to the opposite side. So exhale, go ahead and cross the arms, left arm over right this time, bend at the elbows. Now, if you don't have the flexibility, back of the hands can come to touch. Great option. Otherwise, take that left hand, continue to wrap it around the right, bringing palms to touch or kind of fingers and palms to touch here. Elbows are about collarbone, top of the chest height here. You can stay right here, or if you'd like, inhale, reach those fingers up toward the sky. Good. That's going to deepen that stretch and that opening through the upper back. You can push those elbows straight out in front of you, deepening the posture if you'd like. Good. And then inhale gently. Release those arms, bring them out to the side. Great. And then hands come down into a neutral position. Nice job here. Woo, that's a big opening. Now, sitting up nice and tall once again, rooting through your sits bones here. We're going to inhale, drop our chin down to our chest, looking down toward the floor, hinging at the neck. So we're not leaning forward here, but the only movement that is happening is in the neck. Feel that stretch through the upper spine into the neck here. Feel that pull through the back. Good. Nice full breath. And then exhale, go ahead and roll your left ear over to the left shoulder here, stopping before you roll the head back. Good. Inhale, roll the chin back into neutral before exhale, rolling it over to the right. Not rolling it back, stopping when ear and shoulder in line with one another. And then inhale, rolling slowly back over to the opposite side. So moving at your own pace here, breathing with intention, opening up that neck, feeling as if you're plucking each and every muscle along the spine in that upper back as if it were a harp string. Good. Making sure to complete one more full round, ear over to the left, ear over to the right, one more time. Before returning the head back to the center and then inhale, lifting the head. Nice work. So, final thing we're going to do here is just kind of a gentle movement breathing practice. It's one that can be really grounding. So, you're welcome to close the eyes if you'd like, or simply find an unmoving point and soften the gaze. And I want you to start by extending your arms out to the sides. Palms are down, fingertips reaching, or palms are up, fingertips are reaching down toward the mat. They may or may not touch. Good. On the next inhale, take a nice full belly breath in as you start to reach those arms up to the sky. And as you come to the top of your breath, bring your palms to touch. As you transition to the exhale, turn your palms outward, back of the hands together, and then slowly breathe out as you draw the hands and the arms down toward the floor, fingertips coming to touch or get close to touching the mat beneath you. Inhale, flipping the palms back up once again, reaching up toward the sky and bringing the palms to touch at the very top of your breath. And as you transition to the exhale, turning those palms outward, and then go ahead and let those arms and those hands slowly float down toward the floor, bringing them to touch the floor, almost reach the floor as you reach the bottom of your exhale. Moving in this breath, a few more rounds here at your own pace, inhaling palms up, reaching up toward the sky. Exhaling palms out as you sweep down toward the floor. And you reach the bottom of the next exhale here, bringing your hands into a comfortable position for just a moment, allowing your breath to settle into its own rhythm and cadence once again, and noticing sensation in the body. Good. Gently opening the eyes if they were closed. We're going to make our way down onto the mat for final relaxation. So if you need to put on a towel or if you need to towel off, put on a socks or a jacket, grab a drink of water. Now is your moment to do so. We won't sit up for the rest of our practice here today. So coming on down to the mat, most of us are no longer on our backs, but if that's still comfortable for you, you're welcome to take that position. Otherwise, lowering down onto one side, stacking the hips, the knees, and the ankles. You can bring a hand or an arm beneath the head, or even use something like a prop, like a block, a pillow, a rolled up blanket to prop your head up. If you have another prop like a block, you can always lift up your belly and wedge that block underneath the belly here. Doesn't sound like it would be comfortable. It's actually way more comfortable than you'd think, but a pillow or a blanket will also get that job done as well. Just relieve the belly here for a little bit and the low back. Now, if all of this is uncomfortable, you can always come back into a seated position and simply treat this final part of our practice like a seated meditation. Totally up to you. And as you settle in, tuning into your breath here, noticing how fast or slow your breath is, how deep or shallow it is. Noticing the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feeling into the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Allowing your attention to just gently rest on your breath and be aware of it. Notice the movements of the breath. Now, if and when the mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. Celebrate the fact that you noticed you wandered away and then come back to the breath, come back to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. If it's helpful for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath here. Inhale, I have. Exhale, fortitude. Inhale, I have. Exhale, fortitude. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours, so I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here with your baby. Only when we can touch the wisdom of non-discrimination can we all survive. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Move the arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, pausing here for a moment and bringing back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale here as you make your way on up into a seated position and we close out our practice together today. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, we drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in your lap, or at heart center. closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on Earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga and growing a baby. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for week 33 of this Yoga for Pregnancy series here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. That's the best way for you to stay up to date on the latest classes and for more people to find me. If you enjoyed this practice, please share it with another pregnant gal you may know, or share my channel if you know folks who want to practice at home. I've got tons of non-pregnancy related practices on there as well. I also have a free podcast, Wild Blue Yonder Meditations, that is filled with hundreds of meditations for mindfulness, meditation, breathing, pregnancy related, and not. So if you want to bring these practices into the body, mind, spirit, and continue off the mat, that is a great and very accessible way to do it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in week 34 of this series. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.